Our experiment was on hydrogen fuel cells. We tested the electrolysis of water and the reverse reaction also. To build a hydrogen fuel cell, you need to create the fuel, the hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. To produce this, water must undergo electrolysis. We attached a solar panel to supply the energy needed for this reaction. This is the hydrogen fuel cell car. It receives its energy from the fuel cell that resulted from the electrolysis reaction. This is the reversible fuel cell that we used. It does not look like the ones we have seen before in class. This is because the gas is produced in the bottom chamber and not in a balloon at the top. This is because there are little holes in the bottom chambers that allow the water to react with the anode and cathode. These are not the anode and cathode, but instead are glass tubes that connect the upper and lower chambers. Our fuel cell also has no salt bridge. This is because it is not necessary to have one, since the water does not change pH levels. It cannot be permeable because it needs to stand up against the unbalanced water chambers. There is also no need for the water from separate containers to touch.
Our first reaction in our demo is an electrolysis reaction. Here is a simple diagram depicting it. Here is the anode of this cell. As you can see, oxygen gas is produced here. Here's the cathode of the cell. As you can see, hydrogen gas is produced here. These are the electrolysis reactions. The first one is for the production of oxygen. Then comes the production of hydrogen. Lastly is the overall reaction of the water molecules. As you can see in the oxygen reaction, the oxygen is being oxidized from -2 to 0. In the hydrogen reaction, the hydrogen is reduced from 1 to 0. As indicated by the negative voltage, you need energy for the reaction. Because of this, we need an energy source to drive this reaction. As you can see, the negative end of the battery is attached to the anode and the positive end is attached to the cathode. Don't forget that the electrons flow from the anode to the cathode. If you notice, there are 2 times as much hydrogen gas as oxygen gas. This is because of the overall reaction. There are 2 moles of hydrogen produced for every oxygen.
And here's a recap of our electrolysis experiment. We took a picture every minute, and the experiment took 8 minutes for all of the hydrogen gas to form.
Here's the overall reaction for the voltaic cell. It is just the reverse of all the electrolysis reactions. If you notice, the reactions produce some energy. This energy will drive the hydrogen fuel cell car forward. As you can see in the voltaic cell, the oxygen cell becomes the cathode while the hydrogen cell becomes the anode. This is because the oxygen becomes reduced from 0 to -2 and the hydrogen becomes oxidized from 0 to 1.
And here is a recap of our voltaic cell reaction. This reaction also took 8 minutes. Here is a functional hydrogen fuel cell car. It is one of the cars from the fleet of research vehicles for UCI. If you're lucky enough, you'll see one of these around town.